behind me here is a 1971 GTV 1750 that we just finished restoring here at Dino Motorsport, and we're going to get into it, show you what this car has to offer. My name's Andrew. I'm head of engineering here at Dino Motorsport. This is a car that came to us as a painted shell. We inherited the project and we had to fully rebuild it and restore it to what it is. That's what we like to do at Dino Motorsport. I'm gonna be honest with you. I tried to say the Italian name of the color a couple different times and it's not working. So this is metallic olive green, very pretty color. It just shines out in the daylight. And so let's get into it, show you guys the project, what it has to offer, and maybe even get you guys on a drive. So now that we're inside and we got the car up on the lift, we're going to show you underneath the car. Again, this was a painted shell. We didn't get the option of closing up some of the holes before it was painted to make the bumper delete look nice and clean. So this is what we did here. We got some NOS fog lights from Carello. These came out of Spain, and the purpose of this was to close off at least one of the large holes in the bumper that would be for electrical going to the stock 71 bumper, and the Giulietta running lights slash turn signals to close up where the bumper would mount. So we're going to talk about these fog lights a little more just because it is kind of cool when you find something that you've been searching for. You know, for all you Alfa guys, you guys know all these lights are Carello. The Giulietta turn signals, the headlights, the inner fogs. And so we wanted Carello fogs to match that. And so we searched hard and found some NOS Carello fogs with the yellow lenses to accompany the green paint scheme. And at the customer's request, you know, this is just a cool find. So we don't want to put them on because they are rare, but with the NOS fog lights, we even found the Carello black, hard to find covers. Brand new. I mean, you just can't beat it. So again, this car is a 71, so we only have 2 openings. We don't have the lower 2 openings, but we still want to block large chunks from hitting the radiators. So we make a stainless mesh grille to accompany the GTA style mesh grille upper. We have to fasten that. We still want airflow, and it's also got to match the upper. So let's head underneath and check out the car. These are GTA style 14-inch wheels with Pirelli CN36s. We like these tires a lot for a daily driver slash canyon carver, which is kind of what this car is. This is a great option versus some of our high performance stuff, going to Yokohamas, for instance. So breaking into the suspension, we call this kind of our daily driver to canyon carver. It's not stock ride height. We're on lowering springs, Coney yellow shocks that are set to our likings, bigger front sway bar. That's something we always like. The rest of it's really just rebuilt original styling. Now again, everything we do, we want that extra level of protection for the parts, and coatings is one of those. So everything you see here is Cerakoted. It's not powder coated. So we were talking about the suspension and I just decided we got to take the wheel off to show you the whole picture of everything being rebuilt. CAD plated calipers, completely rebuilt, replated hardware on all the calipers. All the hardware gets replated if it's something special. Coney yellows, the lowering springs, new ball joints, everything is refreshed. We just wanted to take it off to show you guys what the level of detail is. To finish off the front suspension, we're gonna talk about rebuilding the steering boxes. Alfas are notorious for their steering boxes having, you know, some worn out bushings. I don't think we've gotten one car in where we've been able to use the steering box. So all the steering boxes get rebuilt, idler boxes get rebuilt, you know, everything is vapor blasted, the case is vapor blasted, pitman arms, Cerakoted, again, new joints. That makes it so we can sign off on the car, get rid of the play, make it a smooth steering car, make it a daily driver like we want. So moving on to the back of the car, everything's Cerakoted. We even Cerakote the axle here. try to keep it from rusting. New wheel studs, obviously new rotors, CAD plated calipers. We rebuild the axles. This has a 2-liter limited slip in it. New limit straps, the Coney yellows on lowering springs. This has a stock rear sway bar. We kind of prefer the stock rear sway bar in the more daily driver aspect. We always do new limit straps, new bump stops. We cycle it to make sure the bump stops are at their adequate height so we don't crash anything back here. So the reason I'm pointing out all the suspension aspect with the Coney yellows and the sway bars is this is what we believe gives, the rebuilt characteristic, but keep this thing feeling like an Alfa. Keep it more traditional, have that rear end be a little tail happy, because that's what this customer wants, is be a little more playful versus, having a car that just has tons of grip that you can't slide around and have some fun with. So to finish off the bottom of the car, we're gonna go over a couple of the other details, like this stainless exhaust that we have on here. We use aircraft grade stainless hard lines for the fuel and the brakes and the clutch, because this is a hydraulic clutch car. And there's a little sneak peek on the O2 sensor, because this is got some other tricks under the hood. Everything's Cerakoted, new hardware, drive shafts rebalanced, all new components, new U-joints, new center support, completely rebuilt transmission. Again, vapor blasted because it's aluminum. We like that clean, newer, fresh aluminum look. And then we get into some of the hard lines. This is a stock brake master cylinder. We can't always use the old brake lines. A lot of those we have to redo. More on the fuel system side, we have our fuel filters, our fuel pressure, because if you haven't figured it out, this is fuel injected. We prefer to only use PTFE lined fuel lines. They're not going to break down over time at the rate of a rubber fuel line, for instance. So next thing we're going to do is put this car on the ground and show you the rest of its components, starting off with the fuel pump in the tank. One of the things we like to do is put a false floor in the trunk, make it all flat, make it look elegant. So I'm going to pull it out and show you what the rest of the fuel system looks like before we make it to the engine bay. So one thing we do to cut down on noise for the people in the car and clean up the fuel system in our eyes is we install fuel pumps inside the gas tanks. To make the fuel pump work, we have to take the tank, open it up, basically dolly hammer the ribs down and get this fuel pump to sit flat. The key is making it flat and getting rid of the ribs to make it seal properly. This one's internally regulated to 60 PSI and good little unit, makes it quiet inside the car. You can't hear it when the car's running. For some of you Alfa guys, you know that putting a pump in at the gas station usually rams the pump into your body. And so in doing all this, we cut the fuel filler necks and make it fit properly so you can actually not have to worry about damaging your body. So to keep the floor low and keep the floor flat, we build a little center cap to retain the spare tire so it's not moving around. And you got your little tool that's to the jack, so you can take that off. So we're not gonna get super heavy in the details. We have another video for you guys coming soon where we break down the engine top to bottom and explain why we choose some of these components and why we build them this way. What we have here is a twin spark 2100 fuel injected engine. This is a 164 head on a 75 block. Some of the trick parts that we have made for us, our wiring harness. This is made by our partners, Technica Race Wire. Our Dino Motorsports coil bracket. So being a 2100, we're rotating on a 94 millimeter crank. This is a Dino Motorsports crank that we have made for us. Carrillo rods, that's our spec as well. The CP pistons are also our spec. We couldn't really find a valve that was up to our standards of what we wanted to get out of the heads to make them flow. So we now have valves made for us. Intake manifold, port match to the head, and that's all being fed from the Gen Vs. Part of this is having all the sensors to accommodate what we need to do and reach our goals. So you'll see quite a few sensors placed in various places. Then of course there's the air scoop that a lot of you like. We will have or more affordable version of this metal scoop coming soon. We talked about this being a more street-driven car, maybe making it to the canyons every now and then. So there's certain things we didn't put on this car that our canyon/track car would have. We recirculate oil vapors because no one wants to hear their wife complain about the smell of burnt oil. We don't have an oil cooler because it's not needed for the street application. Trying to keep it looking a little more factory, not so wild on this build. I mean, this is a great car. The way it turned out, it's exactly what the customer wanted. I think we've gone over some good details about the engine, but what I want to show you guys is our engine management side of things and how we position that computer in the car and what we use to run it in terms of hardware. That's something we really haven't gone over before with you guys. And so one of our partners we work with, Mtron Engine Management, guys are cool. The hardware is just solid. It does everything we want, and we're always learning more about it. This will also be a kit we would offer. And this is basically what you would get, the mounting hardware and everything to make it work. So let's stick our heads underneath here. To the right, we're going to start with the Mtron Shadow 8. Great ECU, tons of technology. We're going to pan over to the left, and we have our Lambda controller, which is an ELC1 from Mtron. This car is actually ran off of a small PDM, which is a power distribution module. And in this case, it's a metric PDM. So it's a digital fuse box in a sense, and we can program it to what we want. And all of our calibration is done in-house. A little tricky to install, but the end result is no one's gonna know it's there. Breaking down the interior, customer's request, he wanted his nice, nardy wood steering wheel. We also really like. The original seats covered in green leather. We wanted to stick with the stock style dash, stock style center console, rebuilt gauges. So you'll find a lot of the factory, rear defroster and whatnot. We wanted it to look the part. Just trying to keep it original, but a tasteful little upgrade. One of the things we really like is OMP pedals. Give us a little extra grip rather than the stock rubber pedal pads. Car drives great, it feels great. Seats are comfy. This car feels great. Can't wait to show you guys when we drive it. Doing 75 miles an hour, about 3,200 RPM, 3,100 RPM. Just cruising down the highway. Engine temps are good. Oil pressure's about 80 PSI. And if we want to go faster, got all the torque to do it. A screamer. Great car to cruise in. Hands off wheel, car's driving straight. Doesn't get much better for a daily. I would daily it. So guys, hope you liked that video, showing you the car and the driving video. Stay tuned for more. We have a lot of cool projects coming. There's always going to be more. And visit our website, dinomotorsport.com, and stay tuned for parts to come available on there. We're working on that as we can. Yeah, see you guys next time.